You're not my woman, Mom.
And I would never, ever, ever use a line. Ain't now one of them niggas stepped up and said they hit this. Use a goddamn lie. What you saying, Jonathan?
I'm saying I need you to be a mother, not a networker, not a baddie, not a squawker, not a motherfucker.
I'm not about to let nobody in no club jump on my back over no.
Blueface's mother just got publicly called out by her own son, and the internet did not see this coming. The situation is uncomfortable, messy, and has people side-eyeing family boundaries in a serious way. Before we get into the details, make sure you hit that like button and tap subscribe, because this breakdown covers some disturbing family dynamics that have everyone talking right now. This story forces people to rethink what healthy boundaries are supposed to look like inside a family. Blueface has been in headlines for years, but this moment hit different. Recently, he took to social media and directly addressed his own mother, making it clear that her behavior toward him crossed a line. He openly stated that she was doing too much and that certain boundaries should never be questioned. That alone had social media stunned. A grown man having to publicly shut down his own parent raised a lot of eyebrows.
What you saying, Jonathan?
I'm saying I need you to be a mother, not a networker, not a baddie, not a squawker, not a motherfucker.
I'm not about to let nobody in no club jump on my back over no gate.
I'm about to show you the video.
You have no reason to lie. Don't call me no liar, Jonathan. Jonathan, let her talk, because this is gonna be my last time playing with you and with your people. Because I don't like how me and her apologize.
I don't care, you're a liar.
You're a liar.
Fans immediately noticed that this was not just a random outburst or clout moment. People have been picking up on strange tension for years, and this was the first time it spilled out in such a blunt way. When you rewind the story, the pattern starts to show. Carlissa Saffold has always stood out as a strong personality. She met Blueface's father years ago while working in retail management, and their relationship was complicated from the start. She has openly talked about wanting fame, chasing Hollywood dreams, and trying to step into the spotlight herself. She has also shared that she raised children with different partners, and the constant changes, moving around, and unstable relationships created a chaotic environment. Once fame entered the picture, those unresolved issues did not disappear. They became louder, more public, and harder for fans to ignore. When she had Jonathan, who the world now knows as Blueface, she reportedly saw a second chance to chase the dreams she never reached herself. Instead of separating her goals from her role as a parent, that pressure slowly shifted onto him. Carlissa has openly admitted in the past that she struggles being alone and feels she always needs a partner, saying she does not do well by herself. That constant need for attention and validation did not disappear. It followed her into motherhood.
Y'all need to start holding people accountable. This is not funny no more. This is not a game no more. And that was the ugliest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Blueface grew up watching his mother jump from relationship to relationship while stability stayed out of reach. The environment was unpredictable, and things got heavier when his older brother Andre went to prison for manslaughter. At that point, Blueface was pushed into a role he was never meant to play. He became the emotional support system, the financial backup, and the man of the house far too early. That kind of responsibility creates blurred lines. Instead of being guided, he was guiding. Instead of being protected, he was protecting. Fans now look back and say that dynamic was never healthy to begin with. Once Blueface finally broke into the rap scene and started getting real money and attention, everything shifted again. Fame brought access, options, and independence. That is when people started questioning Carlissa's behavior. Rather than stepping back and letting her son build his own life, she appeared to tighten her grip. Every woman who came around him seemed to become a problem. Arguments popped up. Tension followed. Viewers kept asking why his mother was so deeply involved in his dating choices. It got even stranger when Carlissa fully inserted herself into his business world. She moved in with him, worked alongside him, and positioned herself as someone he could not function without. To many watching, it felt less like support and more like control, and the discomfort only continued to grow from there.
Always hate Jaden, or did you at some point like Jaden?
I've always liked her. I've just always seen different things that she would do. I would say as a narcissist, and try to control like what he disperses to us.
You think Jaden's a narcissist
Yes.
over your son?
Yes. Oh, hell yes.
Carlissa, you must have smoked
Oh,
a fat
hell
one over
yeah.
here.
She's a good one too. What?
Jaden?
Yeah, Jaden is controlling this whole y'all think it's John. She told him, go on over there and get that money. Bring it back. You better stop playing. You ain't picking up what I've been putting down this whole year, huh?
Okay, wait, no, we're gonna get into it because you've been putting a lot down.
This was never just a mother cheering on her successful son. It came off more like someone who refused to let him have real independence or personal space. The first situation that really made fans raise their eyebrows involved Jaden Alexis, one of Blueface's children's mothers. From the very start, Carlissa had a clear issue with her, and it was obvious it was deeper than normal family tension. You would expect a grandmother to at least try to keep the peace for the sake of the kids. That did not happen here. Carlissa repeatedly sparked conflict with Jaden, throwing slick comments, questioning her character, and taking shots whenever she got the chance. It went beyond typical mother versus partner drama. Viewers noticed an energy that felt personal, almost competitive. Carlissa made remarks downplaying Jaden's role, calling her a housekeeper and criticizing everything from her looks to how she carried herself. She even admitted she helped teach Jaden how to cook and clean when she was younger, only to later use those same things as insults. That contradiction alone had people confused and uncomfortable. What really crossed a line for many was when Carlissa made comments about skin tone, saying she preferred Blueface to be with a darker-skinned woman and implying Jaden was not black enough. Those statements turned public opinion fast. At that point, it stopped sounding like concern and started sounding like personal bias.
What you want to do, Mr. Kobe Jonathan Porter, Bryant, what you want to do is go ahead and repent today and start over. That ain't it, okay? I'm going to tell you the truth this one last time. I'm going to give you one more last secret, okay? Because you done about used up all your biblical passes, baby. You done used them all up today. You want me to respect your wife? Not a wife. That's a maid. You need to know the difference. Okay? A wife is a fucking helpmate. It ain't a drunk, complaining, crying, weird, pumpkin head crybaby. Okay? That's not a wife. You don't have a helpmate. You got a maid. You getting them mixed up. Respect your wife.
The situation reached a breaking point when Carlissa got physical during an argument at a restaurant. A tray of food was flipped, and hot sauce ended up hitting Jaden in the eye, all over being called a liar. Fans were stunned watching a grown woman lash out like that. To many people watching, this was not protective mother behavior. It looked like someone treating her son's partners as threats rather than boundaries that needed to be respected. Then came Chrisean Rock, and that is when everything spiraled even further. Her on and off relationship with Blueface played out non-stop in public, and Carlissa stayed right in the middle of it. What made it uncomfortable was how inconsistent her stance was. One moment, she seemed supportive of Chrisean, the next, she was openly hostile. It felt like she was switching sides whenever it benefited her, keeping herself deeply involved in her son's personal life instead of stepping back. At the beginning, Carlissa was clearly against Chrisean. She admitted that when she first saw Chrisean's audition video for Blue Girls Club, she told Blueface not to choose her. She could not give a clear reason, only saying she had a bad feeling and did not want that particular woman around her son. That explanation alone left fans uneasy. Things escalated when Chrisean moved into the house with Carlissa and Blueface. What should have been temporary turned into a full power struggle. Two women were now sharing space, both competing for influence over the same man. Carlissa complained about Chrisean going into her room, using her makeup, and not following house rules. Instead of handling it like an adult, she responded by creating tension and setting traps that only fueled more conflict. The physical confrontation between Carlissa and Chrisean was not really about house rules or a pet. To viewers, it was about control and territory.
They might get mad at me for running my mouth, but you know me. I got to say what I got to say when I got to say what I got to say. I think this is just my personal mammy opinion.
Carlissa appeared threatened by how much influence Chrisean had over Blueface, and her reaction crossed serious boundaries. Objects being thrown during that altercation, especially while Chrisean was pregnant, shocked a lot of people watching. Another moment that stood out involved Carlissa and Jaden working together at Blueface's restaurant. That should have stayed strictly business. Instead, Carlissa used it as another way to assert dominance. She undermined Jaden's authority, stirred tension with customers, and treated the workplace like her personal stage, turning professionalism into chaos once again. When Jaden called Carlissa a liar during a disagreement, her reaction went way beyond what anyone expected. Instead of addressing the issue calmly, Carlissa flipped a tray of food, causing hot sauce to splash into Jaden's eye. She later tried to justify it by saying she had prepared a full meal and felt disrespected. That moment made it clear to many viewers that Carlissa could not handle being challenged by any woman connected to her son, even in a work setting where emotions should have stayed in check. Social media wasted no time calling out the behavior. Fans started pointing out that this was not normal motherly conduct. Comments flooded in, questioning why she seemed so hostile toward her son's partners.
I just want to get on here and address a couple people that's saying that I feel entitled, and when I said make it enough, that was y'all was saying that was me being entitled, and I think I should have this and have that. I want to address that to you slow motherfuckers in the back, because the real mothers already know what I'm talking about, but the slow motherfuckers that ain't got no grandmas for their kids, that, you know what I'm saying?
People openly said it felt less like concern and more like jealousy, comparing her reactions to someone who felt personally threatened rather than protective. The deeper fans looked, the more uncomfortable the pattern became. People noticed how Carlissa appeared visibly upset whenever Blueface showed affection to other women. They watched her insert herself into his relationships, undermine them, and constantly position herself as the most important person in his life. To many, it did not come across as parental guidance. It looked possessive. What truly shifted public opinion was when Carlissa began making inappropriate remarks involving her son. She compared her husband to Blueface and made comments that crossed personal boundaries. She also accidentally posted private photos online, later claiming they were intended for her husband. The internet immediately reacted, calling the behavior disturbing and inappropriate for a parent. Eventually, Blueface addressed the situation directly. He went online and said what many people had already been thinking. He told his mother clearly that certain boundaries could never exist between them and asked her to stop involving herself so deeply in his personal relationships. He described the level of attention as uncomfortable and unnecessary, making it clear that things had gone too far. "You not my type." The fact that a grown man felt the need to publicly say this about his own mother tells you just how far things had gone. This was not disrespect. This was damage control.
Everything that you got going wrong with you is because of you.
Hey.
Not because of me, not because of her, because of you. It all comes 360. I don't know why you think you just exempt and you just special and you're very special. Don't get it. Let's tell you my mom and everything, but I'm saying,
just said you ain't got no remorse and you don't care.
Nah, I'm not saying like that.
I'm leaving here with that.
I'm saying I feel like I'm more mature than you.
If you were more mature than me, we wouldn't be here right now.
These were boundaries being set that should never have needed to be explained in the first place. In multiple interviews, Blueface has openly shared his frustration with his mother's behavior. He said she needs to grow up and stop acting like she is competing with the women he dates. He has accused her of being manipulative and constantly trying to control his personal choices. According to him, her involvement goes beyond concern and crosses into interference. This type of behavior does not come out of nowhere, and many people started asking what is really driving it. Carlissa's fixation on her son's romantic life and her hostility toward his partners point to deeper unresolved issues rather than simple overprotectiveness. Some observers have described it as emotional enmeshment, not physical, but emotional. This happens when a parent relies on a child to meet emotional needs that should be fulfilled by adult relationships. It can show up as possessiveness, jealousy, and an inability to accept the child forming healthy romantic bonds outside the parent-child dynamic. Carlissa has spoken publicly about her own past struggles, including abandonment issues, childhood trauma, and growing up in an unstable household. She has also admitted that she struggles to be alone and seeks constant validation from men. Those unresolved wounds appear to have spilled into her relationship with her son, where emotional needs became blurred. There is also the reality that she never reached the fame or success she once wanted. Instead of separating her identity from her son's rise, she attached herself to his career, his relationships, and his personal life. What started as pride slowly turned into overreach, and that overreach became impossible for both Blueface and the public to ignore. The attention-seeking behavior is another major red flag. Every time Blueface makes headlines over his relationships, Carlissa somehow inserts herself into the story. Whether it is launching her own show, posting nonstop about his business, or addressing drama that does not involve her directly, she consistently finds a way to stay in the spotlight. To many people watching, it looks like she thrives on the chaos and the attention that comes with it. One part of this situation that does not get talked about enough is the financial control. Carlissa has openly admitted that she depends on Blueface for financial support. That dependency has reportedly been used as leverage whenever he tries to pull away from the dysfunction. When he creates distance, the conversations shift to guilt, housing, money, and obligations. She has also used his success to bankroll her own projects, including her show and multiple business attempts. This creates a codependent setup where she relies on him to maintain her lifestyle, while he feels pressured to provide support even when the relationship feels unhealthy. That kind of dynamic makes it extremely difficult for him to build stable romantic relationships or create a peaceful environment for his children. When a mother positions herself in competition with her son's partners, it puts everyone in an impossible position. No woman wants to enter a relationship where the mother acts like a jealous rival instead of a boundary-respecting parent. The children are growing up watching their grandmother clash with their mothers, make inappropriate remarks, and turn private family issues into public content. That kind of exposure normalizes chaos and creates instability during critical developmental years. The internet response has been harsh but direct. People have called the behavior inappropriate, toxic, and disturbing. Comments like, "This woman is in love with her own son," and "she acts like a jealous baby mama," have flooded social media. What stands out most is how this situation has opened broader conversations about toxic family dynamics and the long-term damage they can cause when no one steps in to stop it. Across the Black community, a lot of people have connected with this situation on a personal level.
You ain't never gonna see my son. I want him to love y'all more than he loved his mama on the first motherfucking month. What kind of man do you want?
Many shared their own experiences dealing with overbearing parents or family members who struggle to respect boundaries. This story has also pushed conversations about mental health into the spotlight, especially when it comes to generational trauma and toxic patterns that get passed down instead of healed. So, what actually needs to happen for this family to move forward? First, real boundaries have to be set and respected. Carlissa needs to step back and allow her son to live his own life without interference. Her role should be centered on being a grandmother to his children and a supportive parent, not someone trying to control his relationships or personal choices. That shift is necessary if anything is going to change. On the other side, Blueface has to keep standing up for himself. Setting boundaries is not disrespectful, even when it involves a parent. Sometimes distance is the only way toxic family members are forced to reflect and take accountability. It is not easy, but it is often necessary. Therapy would benefit everyone involved. Individual therapy could help Carlissa work through her unresolved trauma and attachment issues. Family therapy could help rebuild the relationship on healthier terms if both sides are willing to do the work. At its core, this entire situation is just sad. A son should never have to publicly tell his mother she is not his type. A mother should never feel threatened by her son's romantic relationships. And a family should not have to expose this level of dysfunction for the world to see. Yet here we are, and the truth is no longer hidden. Fans have been pointing out these red flags for years, and now the bigger picture is finally clear. The real question is whether Carlissa will seek help and change, or if this cycle will continue damaging family bonds. So before you dip, make sure you smash that like button if you're riding with us, tap subscribe if you're a real one, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single messy update. Trust me, you're gonna want to be here for the next video.